Hi, this is Suzanne Seeley with Suzanne Seeley's Style Snips. Telling you all an awful lot of things. I've been telling you about beauty, about fashion, how to do this, how to do that, really acting like the authority. And I got to thinking that maybe you might just be suspicious and wondering what my background is to be able to be so authoritative on everything, so sure of myself. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, in a military family. My father was a United States Air Force fighter pilot. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, but she was also an artist. She was also someone who loved to read. When I was 9 years old, my father was transferred to Torrejon Air Force Base right outside of Madrid, Spain. Now, this period, this 3 years or a little over 3 years that we lived there was extremely transformative to me, extremely important to me, and really would continue to be for the rest of my life. My sisters and I used to go down into the streets of Madrid. We'd roam around. It was very, very safe. Franco was dictator. We'd go down there. We'd play with the other children, the Spanish kids. We learned to speak Spanish. But not just that. We also saw so many beautiful buildings and rooms and places. It was so novel to us. It was so exotic for these little girls. That stayed with me my whole life. And even then, even at that early age, I got the idea that I wanted to see more. Well, we moved back to the United States. Eventually, we moved to Southern California. From there, we moved to Williamsburg, Virginia, where I graduated from high school. I went to college for 2 years, but then I decided, it kept itching at me and itching at me. I decided that I wanted to join the airlines. So I joined the airlines as a flight attendant and started traveling. Now, this was a perfect job for me, for my personality, my sense of adventure. It was really everything I wanted to do. It was extreme. Then I got married and I had my daughter. And when my daughter was 1.5 years old, my husband came home from work and he told me that he had been given this opportunity to move to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Well, he didn't have to ask twice. I didn't have to even think another moment. I immediately said yes. I was so excited. So we moved to Rio, and I must tell you that I was completely blown away by the raw beauty of the mountains and the ocean and the beaches. It just was so spectacular. And then I had my son. He was born. When my son was 3 months old, we moved back to the United States, and within a short time, my husband came back home and said that he had been given another opportunity to move to Madrid, Spain. Well, I was so excited. We moved back to Madrid, Spain, where I continued my university studies, finished my university degree, actually from George Mason, and got a degree in Spanish literature. But while I was there, I also decided to attend the University of Madrid Complutense, and there I studied in a very special master's program that dealt with everything Spanish, the culture, the history, the language. And it was so interesting to me because students came from all over the world to attend this particular program. So when we moved back to the United States, after we got settled in, I was trying to figure out really what to do with myself. My children were in school, and I decided that what I loved was interior design, interior decorating, beauty, and I wanted to pursue that. So I went back to school and studied 2 more years in interior design. Then I began my own little interior design business, which actually turned out to be very successful, and I was very happy doing it. This design business kind of led me into where I am now as a senior model. I'm with a modeling agency in Georgetown. And this kind of brings me to where I am with me. But all of these experiences that I've been talking about, really every moment of my life, I've been appreciating beauty. I've been searching out what makes things work. I've been learning. I've learned about different cultures. There's no question I learned about fashion when I was in France and Italy particularly. So I've been acquiring knowledge all these years, aside from the academic studies that I've undertaken. I have a passion for it. It is something that I have a natural curiosity for, a thirst for. I think I always will. So that's I think, everything you want to know about me.